Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. I am Britt from Britt's Big Plans, and if you are new to my channel, congratulations, so are we all, because it has officially been almost 2 years since my last video. So we're gonna start this new adventure with a new project of mine. Oh, there we go, better lighting. With a new project of mine. So this is just a 6-ring binder that I got off of Amazon. I don't even think it has a actual name to it. But this is going to be my ink and pen catalog that I'm going to keep track of. So I have, let me see if I've got it next to me. Of course I don't when I go to talk about it. I have an ink journal that I use every time I get new inks. I swatch them and stuff like that, you know, standard ink journal. Ah, there it is. There we go. I have this ink journal that I started back in August, and you know, this was currently inked. I did some stuff, some Zentangles, some inks for 30 inks in 30 days. I was writing out A Court of Thorns and Roses. But during all of this, I was just using my inks, which, you know, to me is what an ink journal is. So every time I would get, say, an ink flight, then I would put that in here and just write down the little snippet that ink journal puts in about the inks. And then anytime I would get an order, I would put it in there as well. So every one of these tabs is a place where I got a new ink, and then anything that is not tabbed is where I was writing with my inks. The only problem with this, and quite a few of my fellow fountain pen users have figured this out, is that you can't add to it. So, for example, back here, these are black and gray inks, and then some of them that I missed. So like, that is not a black or gray, that is in fact a green, but I couldn't go back and add it. So I decided that rings were the way to go. So to start off 2025, I wanted to get all of this done so that I had an idea of where I was starting, right? So according to my count, I have 163 bottles and 116 samples. Yes, that sounds like an absolutely insane amount that no one should ever own. But in my defense, the ink bottles are going to include the Ferris Wheel Press 10 milliliter bottles, which is a newer product that they have that's this size. And of course, some of them look different. So we have that one. Or one that looks like this. It just depends on, I guess, what batch you got. I don't know. But that includes these, which are very small. And it also includes 3 Diamine Inkvent calendars worth of these little Inkvent bottles. Those are, to me, this is bigger than a sample, so it's a bottle. So 3 Inkvent calendars worth, plus the number of regular bottles I have. That's where 163 comes in. I do have these tiny Colorverse bottles that are like this. They're actual bottles, but they're only 5 mils, so I included this in my sample. And then I also included the little charger sets from Ferris Wheel Press in my sample count. All of that being said, 163 bottles, 116 samples. All right, now I'm going to preface this with, I am not a color expert. I'm not always great at categorizing colors, so please don't come at me if you disagree with how I categorize a color, because I'm sure there will be lots of it. All right, so we've got Leonardo and Diamine, Van Diemen's, Aurora, Sailor, Tom Studio, and then Push-Pull is a new brand to me, and I got this in my last ink flight. Now, the way that I have this set up is, you'll notice my little note here. I have a strip here that has been glued down with the Tombow Mono dot adhesive tape, and that is Tomoe River paper. I got it in a pack. It's the white, not the green. And then the actual page itself is simply for ease of use. The page itself is aerofil paper, and it already comes in A5 size, so that was perfect. I just hole punched it and then used it. Now, you'll notice for some of these that they behave really differently on the different papers, but that's why I do it on multiple papers. I love Diamine Hope Pink. It is so fluorescent. And then Roseate Spoonbill. Love that one. Okay, this one in the video looks green, but the actual base color, and you can see it if I do that, is red, so that's why it's here. All right, oranges and yellows. This one is a little bit peachy, but I didn't feel like it fit in the red and pink category, so orange it is. Same for the Winking Embers, although that one is a little bit more orange. Oh, looks like I Winking Embered twice. Oh well. And then this one, I put it here because Age of Arm is supposed to be gold, but boy did that turn out a lot darker than I was expecting. This one on the Tomoe River, it looks more yellow than brown, but it's just flat out brown, so oopsie daisy. Now, I did try to separate, sorry for the noise here, I'm sitting down in my chair. I did try to separate my greens, my teals, and my blues, but again, I'm not a color professional, so don't come at me. All right, this one, it's emerald green, but that's kind of teal to me, so, you know. Then this one on the Tomoe River is almost all sheen, but Diamine Holly really is a beautiful green if you get it without the sheen. Push-Pull Slime, it's really more of a yellow, but you know, here we are. And then this one, I've only ever done it on Tomoe River paper before, where I hardly can see the purple that's the actual color. So I put that in here because the green sheen is so aggressive. However, on the aerofil paper, I'm sure you can see here, that is purple. Yep. So I now have a purple ink in my green. So there we are. All right, then in my teals, again, not an expert. Some of these are a little more blue, but I tried to get the ones that were a good blue and green mixture. We've got, you know, that Velvet Emerald from Diamine's Ink Vent that's beautiful. The Ferris Wheel Press Mirror Mirror of Moraine. I do feel like Edward's Gardens, if it wasn't for all of the shimmer, would really be a better fit for the blue category as well as Fire and Ice, but you know, they're kind of that in-between color. So I've got 2 pages of my teal inks here. Then my blues. That Tesla coil has such intense sheen on it. I hardly ever use that ink, but it's so pretty. Noodler's Bay State Blue, the infamous Bay State Blue. It's a risk every time you open the bottle because if it spills, it is never coming off of whatever it is. There's another Cosmic Glow. That's one of their extreme sheens from this year's Ink Vent. And you know, I have that teal category, but I really don't feel like turquoise belongs in the teal category, so I put it in the blue because it's like the same as this sky blue Aurora turquoise. So That one in the blue. Document turquoise. That one maybe could have gone in the teal category. And to be completely honest with you, I have absolutely no idea where I should be putting Sailor Magno. Haha. It's such a chromo shader that it's purple, it's gray, it's green, it's blue, who even knows? So blue is where it ended up. Then I've got my purples. If anybody's looking for a great purple, like a cool purple, Diamine Jacaranda and Diamine Rainbow's End from last year's ink vent. Best purples ever. All right, these two are really more like pinky peachy, but the shading comes in really purple. So that's why I put it here, because it's, if you look at the shaded part, it's almost like this one. And that one I would definitely categorize as purple. And again, with another chromo shader, I don't even know what to do with those. They should probably have their own category. But until I do that, they are gonna be in whatever I wanna put them in. And I do have a whole category of browns that include all variations of brown. So we have pretty straightforward browns. We have orangey browns. We have gray browns. We've got, this is a reddish brown with so much sheen it doesn't even matter. So all variations of brown here. And then finally the grays and blacks. Again, all variations of grays and blacks. This is almost like a brownish gray kind of. This is purpley. So if I thought that it was mostly gray, it went here. All right, so that is the end of my ink journal piece. And then in the same notebook, I decided to include an inventory of all of my fountain pens. I have entirely too many fountain pens, but I've got them broken down here by brand. And then if it's a brand where I can easily interchange the nibs, so like BAAAAACK, all you gotta do is unscrew it, screw it back in. I kept the nib size separate. So for my BAAAACK, I have 2 fines and 3 mediums. So I kept that separate for several of the brands. But if it was something where I couldn't easily replace the nib with something else, I went ahead and put it next to the pen. So I have BAAAACK, Caran d'Ache, a whole bunch of Estabrooks with some custom nib grinds. So that piece was really important to be separate. Faber-Castell, I've got one of those. Ferris Wheel Press, Jinhao, Kaweco, Laban, Lamy, Leonardo. I don't know if you can tell, but Leonardo and Estabrooke are some of my favorites because I have the most of them. A vintage Mont Blanc, Navalor, Opus 88, Parker, Pilot, Platinum, Radius, Ranga, Sailor, a whole bunch of Twisbys, which I love. Again, easy to exchange the nibs, so I put it down here. And then a Waterman that I got for Christmas, and then various maker pens. We've got Turnt Pen Co., Pens by Casey, Walltown Pens, and then some like handmade ones, one that I made, one that my dad made, just some other stuff. So starting count for the year is 85 pens, and I actually have already sold some of these pens. I am a member of the subreddit Pen Swap on Reddit, so I'm actually going to go through right now with you guys and mark out the ones that I have sold, because I need to indicate with a strike through that I've gotten rid of them and they're no longer in my inventory. So the first one that I sold, let me see, was a Twisby. It was my Twisby Precision in Gunmetal. And I figured out after purchasing that pen that I'm not a huge fan of metal pens in general, but specifically metal grip sections. They just get slippery for me. I also sold my Sailor 1911 Prophet. And then the other pen that I have sold is my Pens by Casey Holiday in the Maldives. So I am officially 3 pens down and working on 2 other ones. I have them listed as well out of my 85. So we're down to 82 pens and essentially 1 billion inks for the year. So I will take you guys along on the adventure of updating this. Probably my hope is to actually start posting videos again, plan with me's and the like. So yeah, I will see you guys in the next video. I hope you'll come back and join me, because I promise it's not going to be another 2 years before my next video. So I will see you guys in the next one, and if you're looking for something to watch in the meantime, go ahead and check out some of my previous videos. I'm gonna link them here, wherever they show up on the screen. Thanks for stopping by. Bye.